Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the Everyday Etiquette Show. Today, I'm live in the studio. And the great thing is, I'm just not live in the studio. I am live on YouTube. Right, Tino? I'm live on YouTube, ladies and gentlemen. It's the first time I'm live on YouTube. I think we're trying out something new, and I think it's going to go really, really good. So, ladies and gentlemen, if you're listening to me right now on radio, you can go to our YouTube channel, and there you will be able to follow the program. So I want to see you. I want to see you on YouTube, ladies and gentlemen. This is very interesting. It was really last minute, I must say. I mean, I walked into the studio and Tino was like, Njekwa, let's do it. And I said, well, let's do it. And the last minute he's like, are we going live? Are we not going? I'm like, I don't know. Are we going live? And you tell me, what are we supposed to do? And last minute he's like, you are live. I'm like, oh my goodness, I'm live. So ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Everyday Etiquette Show, live in the Vaughan Studios here at Kayorense. So we have yet another exciting show. I think Everyday Etiquette is exciting. It is really exciting. Yeah. So last week, the month of February, we declared it the month of love. Well, I must say I didn't, but whoever declares days, whoever comes up with funny holidays, decided February is the month of love. And for obvious reasons, of course, Valentine's Day. So I took advantage of the month of love and I introduced a love series. And we spoke about dating. Yeah? So if you were trying or you've been trying to find yourself a date and you couldn't and you still didn't after the show, then we've got a problem. As a matter of fact, if it's just because of your English, we have something for you. Call us at Vaughan. We will find a program that suits your level of English. Okay? So in any case, we were speaking about dating. We spoke about online dating. We spoke about traditional dating. We spoke about going on a blind date. So we spoke about a whole lot of things, ladies and gentlemen. It was really interesting. And most importantly, I had my good friend Ben with me in the studio. Yeah? I wasn't going to say this on air, but he said it. Ben was actually on First Dates. First Dates is a program. It's First Date or First Dates. I'm not very sure. It's a program that's on the Spanish television. Yo creo Canal 2. No, Tino? No sabes? Anyways, it comes on Spanish TV. So he was he was a guest on one of the episodes of First Date. So he was the right person to be on this show. So he came to 2 shows, ladies and gentlemen. If you didn't get a chance to listen or tune in to those 2 shows, you can find them on iVox. Look for Everyday Etiquette and you will find us there. So you can tune in and just, have a bit of a playback and see what exactly we spoke about during that time. Okay? So today I decided to introduce a different topic. Yeah? So today I have something for movie lovers, real movie lovers, people that like to go to the cinema. Yeah? So today we're going to speak about cinema etiquette. Okay? Etiquette relating to going to the movies. Yeah? A lot has changed since the days when I religiously went to the cinema. A lot has changed, ladies and gentlemen. And it was so funny. As I was doing my research, I came across an article by somebody in the US, somebody from Los Angeles. I couldn't find the name. It was hilarious, So the author, the writer, explained all the faux pas, or the bad etiquette relating to going to the cinema. And he explained why he doesn't go to the cinema. It was so hilarious. Okay? So he spoke about, from the minute he buys his ticket. It's like, first, I have to spend $15 to buy my ticket. And another 12 for the popcorn, the candy, and the usual oversized Coca-Cola. After he spends that money, he arrives early, he takes a seat, and then, guess what? The movie starts. What were you expecting? Of course, the movie starts. And just as he settles into his seat, then some people come in and they start, excuse me, I would like to sit. Is that your seat? What's your seat number? And he's like, for crying out loud, what's going on here? I just paid, I spent almost $30 to come and enjoy this blockbuster. And the first 10 minutes, you're already asking me about my seat. What is going on? Yeah. And he told the story. I mean, he shared in the most hilarious way. He spoke about the faux pas. And ladies and gentlemen, that is surely the reason why most of us don't go to the cinema. But wait, let me not lie. It could be many things. It could be many things. It could be the price of the tickets. Because frankly, the prices have gone up since we started going to the cinema. If I'm not mistaken, movie ticket must be about 9 euros, I think. 9 euros? Maybe that's even on a good day. I should ask Andy. He goes to the cinema a lot. But, so could it be the prices? Could it be Netflix? Because, I mean, if you wait long enough, you can watch whatever it is on Netflix, or you can actually download it from one of these. I'm not going to say it online. But there is no offense in saying it, actually. We are downloading from some website. Yeah? Or it could be the public. So which one is it? We don't know. Yeah? But all we know, ladies and gentlemen, is that less and less people are going to the cinema. Less and less people are going to the cinema. So, what is it? What is it? So the etiquette experts, they took it upon themselves and said, let's look at this. Let's analyze this. Maybe it could be something we could work on. Is it an etiquette issue? And guess what? From the survey that was conducted, the highest scored result was people don't want to go to the cinemas anymore because of other people. So, ladies and gentlemen, don't be that person. Don't be that person in the studio. In the cinema. In the studio. In the cinema. Don't be that person in the cinema that prevents others from enjoying the cinema experience. So, ladies and gentlemen, today is Cinema Etiquette Day. But before we do that, allow me to post the first app question. Okay? Let's look at the first app question for the day. Okay. Give me a moment. So understand this, ladies and gentlemen. All the questions are a cinema etiquette faux pas. So I want you to identify the right one. Yeah? So it's going to test your etiquette and your English. So you're going to get both, your etiquette and your English, ladies and gentlemen. So each one of these, I want you to identify the correct faux pas. You'll find the words are really, really similar, but maybe they've got nothing to do with the other. Yeah? So anyways, let's go. Let's start with the very first question. It's on, in progress, and it's live, ladies and gentlemen. The first question. Julia enjoys, yes, Julia, our Julia. Actually, no. She just came to mind when I was coming up with the question. Julia enjoys watching movies, but only goes to the cinema, ... moon. So this is fill in the blanks, okay? This is one of those fill in the blanks question. Yeah? Julia enjoys watching movies, but only goes to the cinema, ... moon. Complete the sentence, ladies and gentlemen. Complete the sentence while we start looking at our cinema etiquette. Okay? So as we navigate through, I want to see some responses coming through. So the question again, Julia enjoys watching movies, but only goes to the cinema, ... moon. Okay, 50-50 responses so far. 50% right, 50% wrong. Keep them coming, ladies and gentlemen. Keep them coming. Okay, great. So let's get back to etiquette, ladies and gentlemen. Let's get back to etiquette. So people don't want to go to the cinema anymore, not because the tickets are so expensive, because in my opinion, for those people that really, really love movies, no amount of money can stop you from having that cinema experience. The big cinema, the big screen, the sound. There's just something about the cinema, and that popcorn, having that popcorn, and there's something about it. There's something about just watching the movie, on the big screen. So no amount of money can really stop you from actually experiencing that, right? So it's the people. So today we're going to address the issue of the people, ladies and gentlemen. We're going to go through that. And here's the funny thing. Back in the days during the silent screening era, the times of Charlie Chaplin and Loris and Hardell and all those kind of the silent screen era, yeah? Obviously, because it was silent, they used to put up these etiquette posters before the movie starts. And there's this really, really funny picture. I'll try and post it. I'll try and post it on Instagram after the show, or maybe during the break. And it's a picture of this lady wearing a really, really big hat, right? And you can see everybody peeking from the back, lady, try, how does it go? It goes something like, try watching the movie from behind your hat, or something like that. Maybe because the hat is massive, yeah? So which means it prevents the next person or the person behind you from actually, being able to see the movie, yeah? So yeah, during those eras, they would put these posters that would really force people to kind of put it in their face, kind of put it in their face to make sure that the people are follow some sort of etiquette. But these days, the worst or the biggest poster you will find is probably switch off your phone. But what about the rest of the stuff? Because, we must admit, having your phone on remains the biggest and the worst offense. Yeah? But we'll get to that, ladies and gentlemen. We'll get to that. Yeah? So, it's horrible. You go to the cinema to watch a movie and you can't get through the movie, ladies and gentlemen. You can't, because your fellow cinema patrons or your fellow moviegoers just won't let you enjoy the movie. Yeah? So how is it? How do you make sure that you don't become that guy? And when I mean that guy, I mean that guy who does everything wrong. Number one, be on time. This one seems rather obvious. Yeah, it seems obvious that everybody should arrive on time. So if the movie starts at 5:05, don't arrive at 5:10. Arrive on time. At least 10 to 15 minutes. Arrive 10 to 15 minutes. Settle in. And make sure you're ready to start enjoying your movie. And when I mean arrive, not arrive at the front desk, where at the counter where you buy your popcorn and your sodas and everything else. No. Get into the cinema earlier. Find your seat. Take a seat. and just settle in. So arrive at the cinema on time, buy your popcorn, walk around, go to the bathroom if you must, which is also another important thing, but we're going to see it along the way. We'll talk about that. It's one of the other things that we need to take note of. Okay? So arrive on time and settle in. Yeah? Perfect. Rule number 2, which is probably the one offense. Let's not even call it a rule. This is an offense. This is the biggest offense. Moviegoers actually voted this one to be the most irritating thing that other moviegoers do. Use their cell phone. Yeah? So here's the thing. If you're going to the cinema, you have one objective, right? And that one objective is to go and watch the movie. Unless you've got hidden agenda, which we don't know, which I think you could do elsewhere. But the reason everybody wants to go to the cinema is to go and enjoy their movie. Enjoy this blockbuster. Yeah? So which means, leave your cell phone at home, turn it off. Like, don't even, I hear people saying this thing every day, don't even put it on airplane mode. Turn it off completely. Yeah? But just do not use your cell phone. You could put it on silent, but imagine when the phone is on silent and the whole cinema is quiet. What happens? You get that sound. And most of the times, the funny thing is that nobody ever picks up their phone on the first ring. So you hear that sound a couple of times. And nobody's picking up the phone. And at that time, you've already disturbed the whole cinema. Everybody is wondering where's the noise coming from. And guess what? Everybody's like, okay, can somebody just get their phone? So, don't even put it on silent, ladies and gentlemen. No. Switch it off. But if you don't switch it off, you can also just put it on airplane mode. You can put it on airplane mode, or even we've got, was it the nightstand or anyways, if you have an Apple, they've got that little moon thing that kind of just disconnects everything. Okay? But the whole idea is, ladies and gentlemen, please do not pick up your phone if it rings. Do not text. Do not use your phone to look for your something that has fallen on, because that distracts other moviegoers. And the worst of all is don't even think about recording. Don't even think about recording during the movie. The last thing you want is to find yourself being carried out by 2 huge security guards. Oh, they could even be small. Who cares? That's embarrassing. It's not only embarrassing, but it's also illegal. Okay? So, ladies and gentlemen, a cell phone is a no-no. If you're going to the cinema, you're going to the cinema to watch the movie. Do not disturb other moviegoers because of your whatever. Yeah? And if you have an emergency, you're expecting, your wife is about to give birth or somebody, take an aisle seat and make sure that when it rings, you walk outside and you take the call there. Simple as that. But do not pick up the phone. Do not respond to text messages. Do not check your messages. Do not use it as a flashlight. Do not use your phone, period. Yeah? So there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. That is the most irritating and biggest offense when it comes to cinema goers. Okay? Good. Next one, ladies and gentlemen, is the smooching. Smooching. Yeah? Ladies and gentlemen, I'm sure each one of us has experienced, even if it was in your teen years, we have all had a chance to see this couple, probably either on a first date or two in love or whatever the case is. I don't care. But we've seen a couple sitting in a corner, or maybe not even the corner, right in front of the screen where everybody can see them, and they're smooching. Making out. Make out. To make out. To make out. This is a word we use in English, but it has very different meanings, yeah? It has different meanings. So you can say make out, which is to try and clarify something. I'm trying to make out what you're trying to say. I'm trying to make out what you wrote. What did you write? It's not very clear. I'm trying to make out what you wrote. But in this case, when I speak about making out, it's smooching. Those that don't know smooching, it is, wow, gosh, I'm trying to use, all I'm coming up with is more phrasal verbs. To get off, to smooch, to flirt, probably to, they're in each other's faces. The only thing they're missing is a room. Okay? So ladies and gentlemen, not only is this unacceptable, too much PDA, public display of affection. Yeah? So they are so in love and everybody must know it. But ladies and gentlemen, the cinema is not the right place. So this kind of behavior is likely to disturb fellow cinema goers. Yeah? Teenagers. Teenagers are the biggest culprits. And if it's not the teenagers, it's just some adventurous old people, adults. Let me not say old people, some adults. Yeah? So ladies and gentlemen, this is unacceptable. This is a no-no. Yeah? Perfect. So let's look at the app question. Because I see we've only got a few more minutes, so I'm not going to start with the next one. I'm going to go and look at how we're doing when it comes to our app question. So here we go, ladies and gentlemen. Good response. Good response. But I see, no, we're not doing so well, ladies and gentlemen. What's going on? Is it your etiquette or is it your English? Which one of the two is failing you? Okay, so we've got 62% of the listeners getting the answer right and a whipping 37%. This is not good, Von listeners. This one is not good. Yeah? Okay, so I'm going to go through the question again. Julia enjoys movies, but only goes to the cinema, ... moon. Fill in the blanks. Okay? So let me see if I can get some responses. What responses am I getting from the Von listeners? Ana Sobrino, well done. I see it. Maria Pilar, well done. Well done. Okay. Vero, well done. Actually, Vero, you missed something really important, which could make your answer wrong. Okay? One small thing. Yeah? I'll get back to you right away. Well done. So I don't see who's making all the mistakes. I haven't seen any of the mistakes. Let's see. Okay, without wasting much time, I don't think we have much time. Once in answer on, at, once a blue, answer for, blue on, Ladies and gentlemen. Okay, so here we go. The correct answer is Julia enjoys watching movies, but only goes to the cinema once in a blue moon. Yeah? So if you wrote blue, the system rejected it. If you wrote in a moon or an a moon, on moon, anything in those lines is wrong. Ladies and gentlemen, the correct answer is once in a blue moon. So congratulations to those ones that got the answer right. Yeah? So ladies and gentlemen, we're going to take a quick break. And when we get back, we're going to continue looking at some of the etiquette faux pas when it comes to cinema etiquette. So, ladies and gentlemen, I will see you on the other side.
Estamos aquí en la puerta del aula 24. Los alumnos del EMIP han empezado su primera clase hace unos minutos. Vamos a ver qué tal les está yendo.
Guys, let's move on now to our phrasal verb of the day, to take over. To take over, which means hacerse cargo de. Okay? Ready? Shall we do some practicing?
Yes.
Okay, let's go. Claudia, tell Alberto to ask me who's going to take over Michael's accounts.
Alberto, ask Siobhan who's going to take over Michael's account.
Again, faster this time.
Alberto, ask Siobhan who's going to take over Michael's account.
Alberto?
Laura is going to take over.
No, ask me, Alberto. Ask me who's going to take over.
Siobhan, who's going to take over Michael's account?
Ask me again.
Siobhan, who's going to take over Michael's account?
Very good. Laura's going to take over Michael's accounts. And yesterday, Claudia?
Yesterday?
Mm-hmm. Who took over Michael's accounts?
Of course. Who took over Michael's accounts yesterday?
Good. And the answer? Laura, right?
Laura took over Michael's accounts yesterday.
Very good. Alberto, and right now?
Laura's taking
Como
over.
ves, el ritmo de esta clase es frenético y los alumnos del Executive Master en Inglés Profesional están trabajando su agilidad oral usando el método Vaughan en su más pura esencia. Este máster, ideal para gente con un perfil ejecutivo que necesita mejorar su inglés pero tiene poco tiempo, recordamos a los oyentes que quedan muy pocas plazas y que pueden asistir a una prueba de nivel totalmente gratuita durante esta semana. Tienen más información en el teléfono 911335833 o en grupovaughan.com. Repetimos, pueden llamarnos al 911335833 o entrar en grupovaughan.com. Si estás buscando trabajo o quieres encontrar un puesto mejor, seguro que estás en LinkedIn. Pero si de verdad quieres dar un impulso a tu carrera, apúntate al Máster Vaughan de Inglés Intensivo. Mejorarás tu nivel de inglés con un programa intensivo de 5 meses de duración y un método de aprendizaje único que incluye una inmersión en un entorno 100% angloparlante, para que pongas en práctica lo que has aprendido. Llámanos ahora y verás que muy pronto encontrarás ese trabajo que buscas en LinkedIn o en cualquier otro lugar. Apúntate en el 911335833 o en grupovaughan.com. Empower your English. Empower yourself.
I'm here to tell you about the EMIP. Alberto, what's the EMIP? Well, in case you don't know what it is, the EMIP is our Master in Inglés Profesional for the evenings. Now, we know not everybody can dedicate all day to improving their English, and some of you have busy schedules, which is why we have an evening master's program. This way you can keep advancing in your job and keep improving your English at the same time. More than 500 hours of English, both in class and out of class, will really help you master. Eso es, llegar a dominar will help you master the English language once and for all, de una vez por todas. If you want more information about our EMIP, Danny, what's the phone number they can call?
Infórmate llamando al 91 133 5833 y recuerda, también disponible en Valencia y Barcelona. Últimos días para conseguir tu máster de inglés profesional con una oferta inigualable. Consulta condiciones en grupovaughan.com o llamando al 911335833. ¿Todavía no has hecho tu prueba de nivel? Infórmate sin compromiso. 911335833. Consulta también el Executive Master en inglés profesional, disponible en Valencia, Barcelona y Madrid.
Hello, Vaughan listeners, and welcome back to the Everyday Etiquette Show. I'm your host, Njekwa, and today I'm just not live in the Vaughan studios. I am also live on YouTube. To those tuned in, Tino just told me that I have a few people who are tuned in. Welcome, and thank you very much for tuning in. Yeah? Well, I wish I could respond to everything that I see there's some comments, but unfortunately, technology is failing me. I promise I'm going to respond after the show if technology allows me. But if it doesn't, I hope you tune in next week because I'm looking forward to interacting with you. Yeah? So ladies and gentlemen, before the break, we were speaking about cinema etiquette. Yeah? And so far we've spoken about arriving on time. We've spoken about the use of cell phones. And we've spoken about smooching, making out, squeezing in some TLC in the cinema. Unacceptable, ladies. Too much PDA, public display of affection. For those of you that don't know, PDA, too much PDA is not good, especially in the cinema. So, ladies and gentlemen, before we continue, I would like to pose the next app question. Let us see what it's going to be. Yeah? Great. Okay, so the next one is I couldn't enjoy the movie because some teenagers kept ... me. This is it should be easy. Yeah? I couldn't enjoy the movie because some teenagers kept me. I missed a word. It should be kept on. Yeah? Kept on ... me. A, molesting. B, mocking. C, disturbing. Yeah? So there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. There you have it. I couldn't enjoy the movie because some teenagers kept molesting, mocking, or disturbing. Yeah? So, let's continue with our show in the meantime. Okay? So, next faux pas is food. How many times have you gotten into the cinema, settled in, and halfway through the movie, you don't know whether you are at a MasterChef conference or live on a MasterChef show or probably, I don't know, in Mumbai. Because all of a sudden, there's a pungent smell of something. Food, maybe garlic, curry, anything. Ladies and gentlemen, the cinema is not the place to bring your whole lunch. Yeah? Don't bring your whole lunch. Nobody wants to sit and smell strange kind of food. There's a reason why probably popcorn became famous. But it's just not even popcorn. I don't know how appropriate it is. Because the one thing about popcorn, and it's the one and the biggest faux pas, is the noise it makes. But maybe popcorn is actually not the problem. The problem is really the noise and the fact that people get carried away when they're eating popcorn. There's just this continuous chewing noise. Yeah? People don't close their mouth when they're chewing, which is unacceptable. No loud food noises. So traditionally, 3 things. I don't know about here in Spain, but where I come from and in the States as well, 3 things. It's always an oversized Coke or Fanta or whatever, soda, sugar infested, completely nothing but water, sugar, and coloring, popcorn, and candy. And the funny thing is, all three of these items actually are capable of disturbing a person. And I'll explain, I'll tell you each and every one how it happens. If you don't close your mouth when you chew popcorn, there's that chewing noise that I will not do. I will not do it on air. Yeah? We all know that popcorn makes some noise. And if you don't close your mouth, it's very, very irritating. And sometimes you get to a cinema and there are people who seem to be in a rush. It's like a marathon. Yeah? So you've bought your popcorn, and ideally, it's supposed to last you 1.5 hours or 2 hours that you're going to be in the cinema. But there's somebody eating it like it's, I don't know, it's a marathon. It's supposed to be finished in 2 minutes. So you have them constantly, and it doesn't make sense. And if you're sitting next to this person, it's difficult for you to focus. So there goes your movie experience out of the window. Yeah? Completely out of the window. Then we've got the candy. There's something about, I don't know whether it's deliberately done, or maybe it's the packaging. It's meant to keep the candy fresh. It's meant to keep the sweets fresh, or for whatever reason. They all come with this really crunchy noise, when you have to open. So imagine you're sitting in the cinema enjoying your movie. It's dead quiet. And then all you hear is somebody doing this. Every 5 minutes. Every 5 minutes. So every time the person digs into their little packet of candy, you hear this. Dear Lord. There goes your cinema experience. And it looks like I'm exaggerating, but these are things that really happen and that really ruin other people's experience. Okay? And then there is the offense of all offenses when it comes to food. Slurping. Really? Is that necessary? So now imagine in the cinema, obviously, for those that love their ice, they would fill it up with ice, and you have the straw. And as you get towards the end of your drink, you start to hear that noise, that noise that just disturbs everybody. So, ladies and gentlemen, those three things can really ruin a person's experience. Okay? So don't be that person. Yeah? Don't be that person. I learned a trick back in the day. So what I would do is I would come to this. It's a bit of an exaggeration, but yes, I did that. I came with a paper towel or a little container or whatever, where I would open the candy and throw it in. So which means I would avoid having to make that crunchy noise every time I have to, dig in and get my sweets. Yeah? And with the popcorn, the trick is really just to close your mouth. Your drink, that's easy, ladies and gentlemen. When it's almost finished, please stop. Don't try too hard. It's finished. Get a refill, but only if you have an aisle seat. Because if you don't have an aisle seat, listen, sit down. Sit down and just sit through the movie without a drink. Everything you bought was supposed to last you till the end, and it didn't. So tough luck. Yeah? So that's another important one. Yeah? Let's see how we're doing with our app question. Well, pretty good. This one is good. I was expecting worse. Hope for the best and expect. I don't know how the saying goes. Hope for the best, expect the worst. No, that's very pessimistic. Anyway, either way, let's see. Let's see what we got here. So the question again, I couldn't enjoy the movie because some teenagers kept A, molesting, B, mocking, C, disturbing. And so far, we've got 91. Yes, fun listeners, that's how I know you. 92% of you have the right answer. Yeah? That is very, very good. Very good. Yeah? So let's see. Should I close? Not yet. Okay, I'll give you another 2 minutes. For everybody that hasn't had the chance, we have 2 minutes while I go through etiquette tip number 5. And this one has everything to do with the standing up and sitting down. Yeah? Going to the bathroom. Here's the thing about going to the bathroom. If you have to stand up, if you have to get up every time you need to use the bathroom, you would be disturbing other people. So if you know that you've got a loose bladder, here's some advice for you. Take the aisle seat. Just take the aisle seat, and you can get up and walk in and out as you please. But the funny thing is that all those that have a loose bladder never really sit where they should. You know where they sit? Deep in the middle of the seats. So which means every time they need to go to the bathroom, they have to stand up and they have to walk through saying, excuse me, and walking around to find their way. That is not on. Okay? So let's close the app question before we move on to etiquette tip number 6, ladies and gentlemen. And the right answer, let's see, Luis, thank you very much. Correct answer. Victor, Carlos, very good, very good. Good responses today. Aranthu, well done. Ana Sobrino, very good, very good. Rosa Sala, well done. Well, Von listeners, I'm very happy to see we've got a high response rate. Okay, so let's look at let's finish this app question so we can pose the last app question. I couldn't enjoy the movie because some teenagers kept ... me. A, molesting. B, mocking. C, disturbing. And ladies and gentlemen, the correct answer is disturbing. I thought most Spaniards would be tempted to say molesting. Molestar. And as you know, judging by the answer, you really, really know that the word molesting in English has nothing to do with molestar. We use it in a very different way. Yeah? So look it up. If you look for the word molesting in English, you will freak out. You will see what you will discover. Never ever use it. If you want to use disturb, the right word is disturb, not molest. Yeah? So ladies and gentlemen, we're going to close the app question. Thank you very much for your participation. And I'm going to pose the last question for today. Yeah? And the next and last question for today is, I hate it when people ... their drinks. Sip, sober, slurp. Sip, sober, slurp. So, ladies and gentlemen, that's your last app question for today. Get answering while we continue with the everyday etiquette and particularly cinema etiquette. So etiquette tip number 6, ladies and gentlemen, no kicking the seat in front of you. Yeah? Or worse, even worse, hanging your feet on the seat in front of you. There's something that cinema goers do. They put their feet up. If nobody's sitting there and maybe somebody's sitting on the next one, you put your feet up. You think you're at home. But I'm sorry to tell you that it is not home. So do not put your feet up. And even worse, make sure you don't plant your feet into the next seat. Yeah? Don't lean into the next seat because this disturbs the person that's sitting there. And every time you move, the other person feels it. Yeah? So if your feet are resting against the chair, and I mean the chair right in front of you, the seat right in front of you, you really are inconveniencing the next person. Yeah? The seat in front of you is definitely not your personal ottoman. So please do not spread your feet. Do not put your feet across. And remember that even if nobody's sitting there right now, tomorrow somebody's going to sit there. Somebody's going to lean into this seat, and your dirty shoes that have been all over the city would have left some dirt on the seat. So it's really out of courtesy. Avoid putting your feet up. And if you don't put your feet up, avoid leaning into the seat in front of you, because every time the person you move, it actually disturbs the next person. Okay? So ladies and gentlemen, etiquette tip number 7. Seat etiquette. Yeah? This is something everybody should know. I don't know about here, but back in the days when I was a big fan of going to the cinema, or maybe it was just one of the biggest ways to entertain ourselves, was when you buy your ticket, they would allocate you a particular seat, especially with the primetime movies and viewing times. They would always assign you. But on any other day, they would allow you to sit wherever you wanted to. Yeah, because most of the times the cinema was actually not full, so they would tell you it's free sitting. But when it is not free sitting, they would assign you a seat. So make sure you know your seat number and arrive on time to settle into the correct seat. Settle into the correct seat. Avoid arriving late and having to ask people, is that my seat? What seat number? It's disturbing. Okay? That's number 1 when it comes to seat etiquette. Number 2, on those days where it's free sitting, what do? Don't be that creepy person that comes and just sits right next to a person they actually don't know. If the cinema is not full, make sure that you don't sit directly in front of another person. Yeah? So that your big hat, or your big head, or your beautiful hairstyle doesn't disturb the person sitting behind, especially if it has stadium seating. So make sure you don't. Yeah? And then, in the case that it's 50% full, yeah? In the case that it's at least 50% full, avoid having to sit next to anybody on either sides. Yeah? So avoid sitting right in front of somebody else and avoid sitting right next to the other people. Yeah? So that's sit etiquette number 3. And then earlier on, we spoke about having to get up. If you must absolutely get up, it's a life of matter and death. I have to go to the loo, I have to pick up my phone, or I have to go outside for whatever reason. How do you get up? How do you make sure you navigate through the tiny aisle between the dark and everything else? How do you manage to get from where you are to where you need to go? Walk facing the people. The last thing you want is your, I'm not even allowed to say bum. I think bum is okay. It's decent enough. Don't give the people your back. So walk with your front. Yeah? But it must be a matter of life and death. But otherwise, just sit down and wait for the movie to finish. Okay? So that's the sit etiquette. 3 important things to remember. Number 1, right seat. Number 2, if a cinema is not full, avoid sitting next to anybody. Yeah? And especially if it's free seating. And most of the times, you can get this information at the time that you're buying your tickets. They'll always tell you, this is not a popular slot, or this movie is not selling too well, so it could be free seating. They'll let you know. They'll let you know ahead of time. But anyways, ladies and gentlemen, let's move on to the next one. Yeah? Next one is an issue of kids at the cinema. Sometimes you will see parents who take advantage of the cinema to have it as a family event. But this could be a movie that's not really meant for kids. It's not meant for kids. So when it's not meant for kids, please leave the kids at home. This is not an excuse to have a family get together at the cinema. Remember that it's possible. It's possible that some parents have actually paid a babysitter to stay with the kids while they have a wonderful kids-free evening. And when they get to the cinema, guess what they find? They find you with your 2 kids. And it's not kids that can sit through an hour, 30 minutes movie. No. 5 minutes into the movie, one starts screaming, "I need the bathroom." I know this because I'm a mother of a 3-year-old, so anything can happen. So unless you're going to watch Coco or, I don't know, whatever animated film that you have to watch, please leave the kids at home. Yeah? Second last one, ladies, is cleaning up your mess. Let's admit that the cinema is going to clean up just before the next screening. But what about your mess? It's really out of courtesy. Just look around before you leave, pick up your mess, and take it with you. Most of the times, or most of the cinemas actually have these big trash cans in the lobby. So just make sure you make use of them. They are there for a reason, ladies and gentlemen, so use them, okay? And last one, ladies and gentlemen, last one. Spoilers alert. Look that one up. What a spoilers alert. So once the movie is done, yeah, chances are you're going to find a whole lot of people who are waiting to watch the same movie. So don't be that person that decides to actually start narrating the whole movie before the others go in. Keep your mouth shut and we'll find out on the other side. That's simple, right? It can be done. But that's not even the worst. The worst is there's always that one person in the cinema that chooses, I've decided it's a choice. They decide to narrate the movie along the way. Or better yet, they try and they start predicting what's going to happen. So it's one of those that, oh my goodness, he's going to move, he's going to punch you, he's right behind you. God, we all came to watch the movie, so what's your point? So we don't want spoilers. So ladies and gentlemen, don't be a spoiler. Those were the etiquette tips for today, ladies and gentlemen. Don't be that person that ruins other moviegoers' experience. So let's look how we're doing. Let's look at the app. Let's see how, oh, goody, we're doing quite well. 81%. It's not 90%, not 90%, but at least it's 81%. Okay, so the question is, ladies and gentlemen, I hate it when people ... their drinks. Yeah? A, sip. B, sober. C, slurp. Okay, Tino is giving me the cue that it's time to go. So ladies and gentlemen, the right answer is slurp. Yeah? I hate it when people slurp their drinks. What is slurping? That is unacceptable. So it's not sober, sip, it's slurp, ladies and gentlemen. So thank you very, very much for joining me today. I'm looking forward to seeing you. It was wonderful having you as part of my show today. So till next week, same time, same place.
estás quedando atrás. Sabes que te